I'll take my chances, quit your blah 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 blah. What's good, my beautiful people? It's Cass, all up on your screens. HU, you know. Today we're going to do a photo shoot, and it's going to be focused on lighting and RGB lighting to be specific. So I have some photo lighting setup idea videos. I have some just RGB lighting. I have a lot of videos dealing with lighting, and now I just want to kind of play around with it a lot more. Best way to learn lighting, you guys, best way to learn anything is just keep playing around with it and doing it. You guys see me constantly doing the same kind of theme photo shoots. I'm going to make myself look less like I haven't slept in a week, and I'm going to set up and get dressed and party. So I wrote this song called Dove a while back, and if I release a song, I love it obviously, but I don't know, I really love it now. Like, I'm just randomly obsessed with my song. I'll take my chances, quit your blah 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 blah. So I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna go dark lip. All the things I just went through to get this corset on myself. Pretty sure I relocated some ribs, but it's okay. I didn't really plan pants for this, so I think I'm just gonna go. I was already wearing these black cargos, but I'm gonna wear my headscarf. When's the last time I wore this? Probably when I released my song What a Girl Wants. So I will say, whenever you guys are picking out an outfit for a shoot like this, it's great to show a lot of skin, because light will do fun things with the skin, especially if you're wearing black like me. It's not really gonna bounce off the black, it's really gonna bounce off the skin. So I'm really excited because I'm not going to just one, I'm going to 2 balls. So follow me on Instagram or TikTok maybe, I don't know, but I get to get some ball gowns, and I'm getting gloves. It's a must thing. I've always wanted gloves. Should I do a transition? What should we do? Can't even see that. Okay, never mind. Anyways, so I connected my Sony. I'm shooting with my Sony A7S. I actually connected it to my iPad. I usually connect it to my phone, but I was like, they don't really have the app for iPad, so they do. So I'm using a Sony camera. So this is the imaging app, Imaging Mobile, I think it's called. Yeah, Imaging Ed Mobile. So that's Edge Mobile. So that's how you shoot with the Sony. And you can see it on your phone. Canon has an app, I think it's called Canon Connect. So we're set up over here. So right now I have my black backdrop up. Later on I'm going to use a white one. I have my 2 LED lights, which we can play around with the RGB features. And of course my Canon Sony A7S. Did I just say Canon Sony A7S, and then I just have it on my Metron tripod. All right, you guys, so I'm pretty much set up. So I'm going into the newer app. So as I mentioned, these are 2 newer LED RGB light panels. So I'm going into the app because that's pretty much how I control the color. So I'm going to each light, going into HSI, and then I'm just gonna decide. I am a stickler for red, but I feel like I use red too much. Should I do purple? Is that too close to blue? I guess I can go and look. Okay, let me switch the other one. I don't know, green. Let's see what we got. Let's play around with it. It's not cute. Pink? Okay, pink it is. Okay, so pretty much anything black is gonna disappear. All right, let's turn on the music and shoot some shots.
Yeah. I'm the baddest chick. I'm not a thick. I'm about my business. Chill what money clip. Sushi got it. Make that money quick. Narikando with the bags. They don't know what hit. All I got is money.
So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the prop. Some wine in a champagne glass, because I realized all my wine glasses were dirty. I have some prism lens filters, so maybe I'll play around with that.
Dedicated, steady on my grind. 내가 원한 삶으로 laser focus to my goals. All I got is money on my mind. I won't stop till everything is mine. 내가 원한 삶으로 갈 때까지 let's get this money. Let's get this money. Euros, dollar bills, getting this on. Let's get this money. One yen, better know I'm on it. Let's get this money. 이끌 모아대서 나 한꺼번에. Let's get this money. I don't care where you're from. Get your hustle up and flowing. 건방진 money. 싸가지 rich. 미친 baller. 겁 없는 drip. Yeah baby won't you stunt. goals. All I got is money on my mind. I won't stop till everything is mine. Nigga,
Alrighty, me people. So that is a wrap. Let's edit. So I'm opening each of the photos inside of Adobe Lightroom Classic. I'm going into develop mode with my first photo, and I'm adding the SP05 Nate Let that you guys know is my fave. From there, I'm kind of turning down the shadows, the blacks, trying to get that background really dark, and to turn down the exposure a little bit on this one, as well as the contrast because the lights were a little bright. I'm also going to lower the texture and the clarity. That's how I get more of a smooth skin look, and then I'm going to pump saturation a little bit to get a bit more pop from the colors. But with doing that, I'm going to go back and lower the contrast a little bit to keep the colors from looking too blotchy. Then I'm going to select all my photos and sync that edit to each photo, and then I'll go into each individual photo and make some updates based off of the design. So for the silhouette photo, I'm just going to make it a bit darker just because it is a silhouette, so I don't really need to see any of the features minus the shadows, etc. And then I'm going to move to my final image. For this image, I'm going to, what am I gonna do? For this image, I'm gonna up the exposure a little bit, take away some of the shadows. I didn't really want this one to be as dark. And then I'm going to also open up some of the blacks. I'm gonna pump up that saturation a tiny bit and lower that texture and clarity a little bit more. And that is the edit for these photos. So now I'm gonna bring them into Photoshop so we can pump up the base. So I have my images open in Photoshop. For this image, I had to fill in the background, so I'm going into my lasso tool and I'm just going to circle over the part that is not the black background. After that, I'm going to select Edit, Content Aware Fill, and I'm going to just update the Content Aware Fill, erase the part that I do not need it to recognize to fill in that selection, and then add in any parts that it should recognize in order to fill in the rest of the background. And then I'll click OK. Give it a sec to load, and then in a moment it should fill in your beautiful background. Bam. So I'm going to go ahead and deselect or press Command D on the MacBook to get rid of my selection. It's not perfect, but it's fine because I'm actually going to be adding a texture onto this. So I went online and just downloaded some textures. You guys can download different textures. There's poster, on the wall, glued poster, crumbled up plastic, so just any texture you can think of you can add to the photo. I'm just going to drop it on top, just make sure it's black or white, and then in that layer I'm going to switch it down to a linear burn. So this really made the background kind of blend in all black, so that's why I didn't really worry too much about that blending. I'm going to lower the opacity a tiny bit, 90 to 90%, and that is how I edited these round of photos. Next, I'm going to move on to my silhouette image. So for this one, I didn't really do any content aware fill. I kind of like the rough kind of warehouse sci-fi looking look. So from there, I just kind of added a poster texture onto this. Did the same thing, adding my linear burn, lowering the opacity to 90%, and then I decided to add some plastic on top of it as well. So I just got some plastic texture again with a dark gray or black background. I'm just rotating it, expanding it because you want it to cover your full image. And then from there I'm going to go back into my blend modes and then just find the blend mode that works well with this. So I ended up going with soft light and lowering the opacity a little bit, and then Naman. So for my final photo, I'm just going to go into the quick selection tool so I can just quickly select the subject since I'm very distinct from the background color. From there, I'm going to select my mask button, just get rid of the background, and then I'm going to add in a new layer so that I can add in my own solid background. I'm going to drag it under that layer, add a solid color, and then I'm just going to kind of match it to that light that's kind of peeking in between my arm. And then from there, that's kind of how I got this posterized look. And so I'm going to, of course, add my glued poster texture on top of it, and then I'm going to do multiply for this one because I didn't want it as dark. I'm just going to lower the opacity a tiny bit, and that is how I did this edit, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have fun. Again, keep practicing with lighting. You guys have been seeing me create lighting videos for about 2 years now, and it's all just me practicing, playing around, seeing what I can create. Click here for the video I recommend that you check out next, and I'll see you guys next time. I love y'all.